I really like to sort of meld chords together, especially in places where, like, you know, we're analyzing it 1, 6, 2, 5, and then there's the next 2, 5. So we can have like chunks in this chord progression, thinking about all those sort of packages, but especially like to meld those packages together. Hey and welcome, I'm Tina, a guitar player from Berlin, and today I want to talk about the tune Piece from Horace. It's such a beautiful ballad and it has a 10-bar form. And I want to talk about this form because it has sort of a circular motion. It repeats itself like forever, like a perpetuum mobile, and sometimes it's hard not to lose the form, and I want to show you some tricks how you can improvise over this tune. So if we are in B flat, this is a 2-5 to the minor parallel, right? The G minor is on the 6th degree, and this is just like a 2-5 going to the minor parallel, like in There Will Never Be Another You or in a lot of other jazz standards. And the C7 we can sort of ignore a little bit. I don't think it's so important. Rather think about it as a G minor chord with some voice leading in the comping. Yes, the most obvious choice would be to play like G harmonic minor, and let's hear how that sounds. And now, where does it resolve to, right? We could expect maybe an F major, maybe like an F minor, B flat going to E flat, a lot of option. But here's a really surprising chord, is the B major 7 chord, which is like on the flat 2nd degree in B flat major, right? So we're in B flat. And then on the 2nd degree, on the flat 2nd degree, we have this beautiful chord which still belongs to the key and which also morphs beautifully into the C half diminished chord, F7 going to B flat. So the next 4 chords, if we look at them from the end, right, we have the B flat major, finally our tonic, and we have a 2-5 going to the tonic. We could expect C minor 7, F7, but we have like a half diminished chord and an altered dominant 7th chord, and that happens very often that you have a 2-5 that is going to a major chord, sort of a 2-5 in minor going to a major chord, like in I Love You, What Is the Thing Called Love, Night and Day, right? It's just like a nice surprise that it ends in major. So I want to have a look at the B flat major, B major, going into the C half diminished chord, because actually it's only one note that is changing. So let's try to find some nice voicing for all 4 bars, maybe like just did is I just used the shape of the chords itself to improvise, sort of, right? This is my shape, and then I would just play only the notes of the shapes. And now the tune modulates to A major. It's like it's a 2-5-1-6, a 1-6-2-5 in A major, right? 2, 5, 1, 6. So we can play all the stuff that we would normally play over 1-6-2-5, right? Also, as a shortcut, you could play the A major pentatonic over all of those 4 chords. But I want to talk about phrasing for a second, because this tune is rather slow. It's like 50. I recorded it at 50. And this is a good place to practice different subdivisions. Two, 1, 2, and then think of the triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. One, two, 1, 2. Trying to find the 60 notes. 1, 2, and 2. Takadimi, 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 takadimi. Two, 3, 4. So that's just an idea for practicing on this tune. Think about the rhythm and try to play one chorus in one of those subdivisions just to get a feel of it, because especially with the triplets, the normal phrases don't work most of the time because you have a note more right, and then you're going to find some new lines and then you just can mix it all up. So, and then the tune continues with this E flat half diminished, D7, D flat major. So you could say it's a modulation, but you could also say it's like the D flat major is on the flat 3rd degree of B flat, very much like the B major was on the flat 2nd, the D flat major is on the flat 3rd, and I think it's already leading back to B flat in this key, in this case, and it's a 2-5, right? E half diminished, the D7 is a tritone substitute of the A flat, the 5, going to the 1. Our new one is a D flat major, and so I like to play F sharp melodic minor or G flat melodic minor on the E flat chord, And I realized after a while that there's a very nice way how you can morph into this chord, because you have that 1, 6, 2, 5 in A, right, with this. So the F sharp minor 7, you could also be thinking about it as a G flat minor 7. And if you would be playing G flat melodic minor, you already have the right scale for the E flat half diminished. So first of all, let's find some cool chords that sort of tweak the F sharp minor 7, the G flat minor 7 into the E flat minor 7 half diminished. So basically it's only one note that is changing here, right? So I really like to sort of meld chords together, especially in places where, like, you know, we're analyzing it 1, 6, 2, 5, and then there's the next 2, 5. So we can have like chunks in this chord progression, thinking about all those sort of packages, but especially like to meld those packages together, find connecting points, because otherwise your improvisation is also really going to sound like sort of disconnected, right? So one exercise that just came to my mind would be like to practice arpeggios like this, because it's really like only the one note that is changing, right, from the G flat minor. The E goes to the E flat. So maybe you can try to play some long form arpeggio. Still on the F sharp minor, G flat minor. Play the same arpeggio and morph this one note, this E to the E flat. And then just record those two chords with a root preferably. And then you can play descending, ascending in different rhythms with chords in between. The options are really endless, but just try to really take a spot like this and enjoy it. You know, we are also stressed out with all the chords, so much to learn, but give yourself the permission to maybe practice those two chords for like 2 days. I don't know. Invent some exercises and be sure that you write them down. Okay. And then, yes, we're already at the ending of the tune. It's C half diminished, F7, going back to B flat. So another 2, 5, going back to the tonic. And you just can play B flat harmonic minor over those two chords if you like to, and B flat major over this chord. But I really like to play like a C melodic minor, so C, not C melodic minor, like C Lohengrin with a 9. And altered and B flat. So the form has 10 bars, but maybe try to write it down in 20 bars, and then you'll see how the chords actually feel. Because if you have the A half diminished in the first bar of a 4-bar phrase, it does feel different if it is on the 3rd bar of a 4-bar phrase. That might sound ridiculous, but I urge you to give it a try and write down the form like this, and maybe even think about the form like this when you're practicing, because it will make it much more easier for you not to lose the form, because all of a sudden it makes much more sense why the chords feel different. That's it for today. I hope you had a lot of fun exploring this tune, and if you have any questions, please write them down below. And if you like this video, maybe you like this video about me talking about practicing and analyzing a Chopin's chord progression, and I see you around. Bye.